have an announcement?
I'd
start looking for it.
Alright. Are we live? Oh, I think we're live. I think we heckin' did it.
Did we do it?
Ladies and
We
gentlemen,
are live.
welcome to the penultimate episode for Volume 8.
Whee!
Yeah.
Hooray!
Dude,
Please.
so much happened, y'all.
No, absolutely nothing of any consequence happened whatsoever.
You're right.
Silence, human. We must get there in canonical order.
All right.
Nothing of consequence happened, humans. Please continue watching.
We'll just kind of do our normal thing where we wait for people to file in. How's everybody doing?
Oh, you know. Vibin'.
Forrest is noted my. It's been a week. I cracked my right jaw. Had to eat in discomfort during a business meeting to be sociable. Talk. God save me. And I had to get a blood test.
Oh no, I hope you're okay.
Well, bad news, I am pre-diabetic, and good news, I am pre-diabetic.
Oh, okay.
Y'all?
So don't be doing the diabetes. That's bad.
Just,
Oh.
yeah.
And on top of that, I had an exam.
And then tests.
Did I also mention midterms next week?
God damn. That's
I've been busy.
You got a hell of a schedule there, my guy.
Who the hell schedules an exam the week before a fucking midterm?
You know, there's those teachers.
Goddamn. How about you, Forrest? How you doing?
Doing? I guess.
You doing?
I don't have any midterms to speak of.
That's because you're out of school, you lucky bastard.
Lucky is one word for it.
Yes, and the
Honestly,
word I choose to use at this moment.
If I could still be in school, I'd probably prefer that.
Shut up.
Yo, I feel that. School life is so much easier than not school life.
There's like a regular structure to school that,
Yep.
lacking means you kind of have to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not so great at that, it turns out, so.
How about you, Katie? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty heckin' good. I was just watching some baking shows with my mama today because we like to hang out on Sundays. And I got some tea in the mail that I was really excited about. So I'm going to have some tea tonight. I got some strawberry shortcake tea and then some rose milk tea.
Ooh.
Male tea.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds...
It's going to be real good. And then I was just watching The Golden Girls with Izzy.
Ooh.
And, yeah. And, yeah, just heckin' vibing, and now we're doing a podcast.
We're heckin' doing the podcast. It's gonna be great.
There's gonna be steaks and everything. Nice, big Salisbury steaks.
Oh, yes. That's what this episode had.
Big steaks.
God damn. Well,
big stalks.
I suppose
that's not
we
it.
should
That's not it.
I suppose we might just go ahead and get started here. So, hey, welcome everybody. My name is Brian. I am the head of the audio department here for RWBY Productions, and I also voice Neptune in RWBY Abridged. And with me today, I have all these people that I've already said their names, but who are you again?
Hello, I am the technical side of this podcast. Do not question my indomitable will. Machines will take over the world one day.
Fair.
I'm sorry. That was my other half. He's a little angsty. Yeah, hi, I'm Ian. I'm one of the two admins for the RWBY Productions public Discord server. You can find me at Ventress. And if you're having any particular issues, please don't hesitate to let me know, or any of the mods.
Hell yeah.
I believe my fellow co-host below me is literally on fire constantly.
I don't feel on fire. I feel pretty fine, actually.
Maybe you should try a dance floor.
What? That was over my head. But hi, I'm here
Go
to
ahead.
talk about RWBY. That's this episode where things nothing happened. It was
No,
absolutely
there was nothing on
the pl-
fire.
the plot. No, nothing was on fire. The plot did not advance like 3 or 4 episodes. Nobody died. It's great. It's great.
Indeed. What about you, Katie?
What? Hi, I'm Katie. I go by Connie Day on the internet. KNIDY. I do voice acting things. Here at RWBY Productions, I've done a lot. I've been a producer. I've been a writer. I've been an actor. I've been here since the beginning, and yeah, I love to talk about RWBY. I love to watch RWBY. When I'm not doing stuff at RWBY, I am voice acting in projects, whether it's maybe something witty or the Schmucky Boys, Schmuck Squad, or heckin'.
No, I like Schmucky Boys better.
I know, I don't like to say that. I kind of want that to be the channel.
How did
They
miss
should
out on the
change their
perfect
entire
opportunity?
channel. That should
They
be their new channel name,
absolutely
Schmucky Boys.
And yeah, I did something on Grimjack's channel recently. I also voice in like games and stuff that haven't come out yet, but yay!
Hey, Katie,
And-
you're a little on the quiet side.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I know what's wrong. I'm gonna go. Is that better?
Ah, it's much better.
Let me make sure
Excellent.
I can lower you so we don't deafen the viewers.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I do all of those things, and I want to say up front too that this will be my last episode on the Ruby Talk podcast because next week I am very busy and will not be able to appear on the last episode for this season. So all the stuff I have to say today will be the last of this season of Katie talking. So yeah, listen up, mother hackers. I got
Hell yeah.
thoughts.
Do you now on this episode where nothing happened?
Yeah, you're right. Nothing happened clearly, so.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
brain
yeah.
thunks on an episode with no development whatsoever.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's been so quiet in the RWBY fandom this past 24 hours.
I'm sure.
All quiet on the Western Front, as it were.
Yeah. Nothing to
so,
talk about.
today we are talking about RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 13, Worthy, which is only available at this moment for Rooster Teeth First members. So if you are not a Rooster Teeth First member and you have not seen this episode yet, spoilers. I mean, like, major spoilers.
Actually, like we always say this, but like really this time.
Yeah.
Big spoilers, nothing happened.
Yes. So I guess without further ado, let's just get into it. So, Juniper decides to go through the portal doors, even though they weren't able to get the word out. So they're gonna go and try to like spread the word on foot. And Ren goes ahead with Oscar and Emerald to warn Shade Academy, since they're about to drop a ton of people on them that are like super negative. So like, you know, grim attacks likely.
Guaranteed.
I do also like I like how the door, like Jean goes through the door and he gets like motion sick and like gets shot out of the door and everybody else just like walks through kind of. Like, why is it that fate really just hates Jean?
Because Jean does not deserve to be happy. Haven't you seen Volume 3?
Because Jean isn't good with travel, any kind of travel, as we know he is Vomit Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Of
is.
course.
It's a callback.
Callback all the way to Volume 1. So, Team RWBY and Penny also enter. And then the main portal drops Ren, Oscar, and Emerald in the middle of a sandstorm because, that's just Ambrosius's style.
I mean,
yeah, they didn't really specify where, did they? They just the outskirts of
They
the
were like
city?
outside of shade. And so, of course, Ambrosius is like, all right, I'm going to pick the worst possible spot.
You were right about the fucking desert shit.
Is that where Neptune and Sun were?
Like, right? Like, are they just there? Like, they were going storm chasing like you, Brian.
I mean, Ambrosius's magic is, it's a monkey's paw. There has to be a drawback, and there are multiple.
Yeah, this isn't the only one, as we find out a little later. But also, the sandstorm is completely blocking reception.
Okay, I actually do want to ask one question while we're on the topic of, because it's revealed at the beginning of the episode. Oh wait, no. Sorry, it might be an end of the episode thing, but can we talk about the one-way trip thing?
Yeah, that's the end of the episode.
Okay, never
Right,
mind.
right,
I'll
yeah.
save my comment for the end then, because I had a comment. Never mind.
Yes. So, yeah. So basically, they start getting everybody filing in, right? And
Ren gives a half-hearted welcome to Vacuo, I guess.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Vacuo.
Welcome.
Please don't leave.
Oh God.
Also, you can't, but spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Also, you can't.
So, then Cinder comes through the portal, and that's when the tone of this episode changes.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy.
Like, They were
So,
like, okay, guys.
you know how, Ian, you know how your prediction is always rocks fall, everyone dies?
Always.
You were really close. It wasn't rocks, it was people.
Oh, yeah.
People
Fall, everybody dies.
I mean, people are just fleshy rocks, right? We have minerals in us, it's fine.
A little bit.
Fleshy rocks.
Look, you have like iron and potassium. It's part of your diet. You're literally walking.
Anything's
rocks.
a rock if you try hard.
Exactly.
It's a rock if you think about it. Like,
I mean, especially if you're Nora Valkyrie about to hit it with her giant rocket hammer / mortar. Yeah, it is.
yeah, they're kind of mineral. I mean, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's still right.
Rooster Teeth was like, "Hey guys, we haven't. You know that thing where like you kill people to like race the state? We haven't really done that this season. Let's just like blow some people up. Let's up the body count of this season."
I will say that we don't technically have proof that the people Cinder knocked off are dead because of a certain other situation.
Yes.
We'll
It's
get
true.
to that.
Although there are definitely people that are dead.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
true. These people in particular. I mean, also they were at the middle of that explosion. Like, unless
True,
their
true.
aura
Yes.
was on full, they might be dead anyways. But
Yeah, I mean, but there's a chance, genuinely, that they're just injured and they fell into somewhere and they are alive. It is quite possible. Like, I'm not discounting it.
It's true.
do we remember exactly what Ambrosius said about?
All
what
he
happens
said
if
was,
you fall?
"Do not fall."
That's
Very
all he said.
specifically.
That is all he said. Now,
They broke that rule.
yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
So,
They just need to
Team
listen.
RWBY goes up against Cinder, and then we get a flashback to Cinder's
yeah, we get a
standoff with
flashback.
Neo, and Cinder is all like, "Hey, I've done wrong by you. I've been a bad partner.
I've been a bad go.
I'm gonna get you, Ruby. I'm gonna get you what you want. But I
Today.
need today. But I'm gonna need that lamp, girl. I'm gonna need you to give me that lamp because I gotta ask it a question.
Gimme.
Gimme.
The classic. I know I've done you wrong, but give me what I want now, and I promise you, unlike the other, I don't know, 8 or 9 times this has happened, I will get you what you want later.
I
Definitely,
mean, no,
guaranteed.
she actually, for once, told
Yeah.
the truth.
You actually followed through on that this time.
Although it's
True.
funny because Cinder didn't need to be holding the lamp to ask it a question. I don't think. Like, she could have just said, "Hey, Jin."
Would you have just popped out from under the hat?
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, no,
Neo's
like
consent-
Neo could have just been holding it because, as we've seen, like the lamp was when it was in the hideout, it was just hanging from a little pole, and they said, "Hey, Jin," and she came out. So
The user doesn't have to be holding it.
It doesn't have to, but
It's true.
if you were Neo and Cinder just started asking Jin a question, that would have definitely kind of like, oh, well, she just wanted to ask it a question. I am now expendable.
No, I guess what I'm saying is what Cinder should have done is not been like handed over, like because
But
it's
also,
just a tiny thing.
she didn't know the password yet. I assume that there was like a little thing that we just didn't see, a little exchange where Neo told Cinder what the password was.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's just like a little like etiquette thing. It's not an actual nitpick with the episode. It's actually just me being like, man, Cinder, like read the fucking room. Can't you just be like, hey Neo, listen, I know I've been a bitch. So how about this? You don't have to hand it over. Just hold it out. Just you have it. You can hold it. I won't even touch it. Just let me ask it a question. Like, just like a little
I
read the
just
room
want to
etiquette.
talk to him.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
Is that really Cinder's style, though?
It's not. But like it was really interesting seeing kind of a shift in Cinder this episode, and I guess we'll
Yeah.
keep going about that.
Yeah.
That's true. The whole opening conversation was not her style. Like,
Yeah.
apologizing for things?
Yeah.
Apologies,
So,
shows of actual
It seems like
regret.
Watts's roast really got to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it stung. It
Uh-huh.
burned deep.
So, she asks Jin what Ruby and her friends are planning, and she learns everything, including that Emerald has swapped sides.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cinder, Watts, and Neo infiltrate Atlas Academy and just fucking kill everybody.
Oh my god, it's a
Oh, Bill
fucking
from accounting.
Total
bloodbath.
massacre. Bill! Not Bill! Why would you kill Bill?
No, you can't kill Bill. That's like copyright infringement.
Oh, I do like
Also,
to.
thank you, the Unwanted Warrior in the chat. Thank you so much.
God.
I do like how Watts does the thing where you bet the bad guy eats an apple, but he has to like wipe the blood off it first. Like just.
So yeah, that's a whole thing.
Well,
so they go in, they kill everybody. Watts is now in control of basically all of Atlas.
Which is interesting considering what happens shortly.
And then Cinder has a little exchange with him where she's like, "You deserve this, Arthur." And he just kind of like looks at her. She's like, "We'll be back." To which I'm like, "I don't know if you will."
I don't know, Cinder. Will you?
Well, no. I doubt it.
Like, honestly, I'm genuinely curious. Like, Cinder knows going into this that she would have to be it's just her and Neo versus fucking all four of the girls, Penny, the fucking maiden, like maybe more backup than Team RWBY and them have. Like, they're going into this heavily outnumbered. Like, I mean, it seems to be working so far, but like I'm just saying, it feels like it feels like they should know they're walking into a potentially losable battle.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why they left Watts where he was, which I'll get into a little bit later. I think Watts is going to make himself way more useful exactly where he is.
Okay.
But so we also learn. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I also think the way she says that she's doing this new thing. This is not like a Cinder thing where she's like nice to people. And I
humbled.
I don't know that that's it. I don't know that she's learned her lesson and she's like, oh, I need to be more empathetic and actually care about other people's feelings now. I think it's more that. Yeah, you were saying?
Let me reiterate. I don't think that she's become a better human that empathizes with other humans. I think she has learned, when it comes to people that can actually help me and that see eye to eye with my evil shit, I should treat them with a little bit more mutual respect so that I can get more of what I want.
Yeah.
It's not that she's actually learned a lesson and become a good person. Oh, no. It's that she understands the value of I can use people better if I use them instead of shutting myself out. And, there is actually benefit internally to, not fucking hating everyone you're surrounded by. So, like, there is a human element there of, like, she might actually genuinely want a companionship now, but it's a little too late because you've already been a dick this long. But, I do think there is a genuine shift in her point of view, but it's not redeemable by any stretch.
Also,
I think you nailed it. It's the you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Correct.
Thing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Also,
Yeah.
on your point on walking into a fight they can't win,
Feasibly couldn't win.
Feasibly, what I didn't hear mentioned, which I'm sure you probably were not necessarily like considering at that moment, the civilian casualties and hostages. Right now, RWBY
It's
has
true.
to contend with the fact that it's not even just the environment. Screw the fact that if you fall, you may or may not die. It's the fact that she is fighting them in a place full of civilians, which the hunters and huntresses are supposed to be protecting.
No,
They
that's
have to
true. They do
expose
have an
themselves.
advantage in that there's a lot of weaknesses surrounding all these people that they can't focus on them.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
Cinder doesn't care about collateral.
And they only need
Exactly.
they don't even need knockout to win. They only need ring out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you add back in the environment,
Oh
it
my
seems that
god.
the environment seems to favor the villains even more so than the heroes would.
It's
Cinder
true.
just flies,
Mm-hmm.
and Neo's illusions just make it very treacherous to make a mistake.
It's true. It's true. It's pretty thought out. Yeah, the casualties definitely give them way more favor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, would they have known
It's like
that
our
going
genie
in?
guy.
They would have known about
Yeah.
the civilians going in, not necessarily that they just have to knock people off to distract them.
Yeah.
That's true. They didn't know what necessarily because I mean at the time they were planning it, Team RWBY didn't know what this Nexus place was going to look like, right?
Yeah, but Cinder knew going in because she had all those visions.
Well, I don't know that
I
she
don't
knew.
know that that's true. I don't think that because she just asked what they were planning. I don't think she saw what it was going to look like. I think she just knew that that's where she just understood what they were doing. So she didn't necessarily know that like what the new pocket dimension thing was going to look like, but I think it was always her plan to fight them in there.
Yeah. Okay.
And she
Wait,
also knew that that's where all of the civilians were going to be gathered as well.
True. Yeah.
They got pocket dimensions. Hang on. We got Lamb Girl there. She has a pocket dimension too.
Can she
Don't.
wait? Can she pocket dimension one of the portals?
Oh God.
That's yeah. Wait, hang
Oh my
on.
god.
Can
she bring all the people that fell off, like the civilians and no one else, back?
It was
Yeah,
wait.
that's what I'm thinking.
Is that where? Wait, is that where the fucking void leads into her pocket dimension?
Oh my god.
There you
Yes,
go.
this is the theory that I support now, and I don't care.
I swear to God, if this is right, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh real hard. I'm gonna message you, Katie, and say, God fucking damn it, Katie.
That's incredible. No, Brian gets the credit. I'll take it, but I think Brian earned that credit. That's a good theory.
I'll message him too and be like, God fucking damn it, Brian. Why you do me?
God.
So we also learn that Watts is the one who shut down the feed from Jean.
Mm-hmm.
And then Crow and Robyn and what's his face? The dog boy.
Marrow?
Yeah,
Marrow.
I don't know. Good dog boy.
Marrow.
Good
Marrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crow and Robyn and Marrow are apprehending the Aesops, but then Watts sends one of the freaking robot boys over there to disrupt
Sends the suicide robot.
Yep. And then it manages to take out Marrow, which then undoes the stay, which was being held for quite a while, I might add.
Yeah,
I'm sure they could have done that in the other fights previously.
And yeah, so the stay gets undone because they take out Marrow, and then because Atlas starts to fall, the ships in the hangar start to like slide out of the hangar, and Harriet manages to get in the one with the bomb and fly off, and Vine also manages to get on board as well.
Because super speed.
Yep.
And stretchy arms.
Exactly. So
God damn it,
then
I think it's also worth noting that when we say Miro got taken out,
yeah, he's not dead.
He's not dead. Like this episode, we have to specify.
Yes.
Yeah, we really do though.
So then after that, Ironwood wakes up next to Jacques and is like, "Whoa, how much did I have to drink last night?"
Oh my god. How much power hungry did I eat last night?
Not enough.
The question is, who of them was waking up with a surprisingly full feeling?
And so Jacques chastises Ironwood. He's like, "You lose, James." And
we both lose.
We both
I'm bitter.
lose. I'm rich. All my money is gone. Meh. And then Ironwood's cell fails. Now, I'm gonna
fail.
Before we get into this, okay? Because it was like flickering and then it went out.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that it just like it failed, but I'm still waiting on an explanation for it because I'm hoping that like maybe Watts had something to do with it, because I swear to God, man, if
wait, which part? With the flickering.
Yeah, with Ironwood being able to get out of his cell, I swear to God, if that was just a Atlas is falling and then a fucking wire got loose and it managed to let Ironwood get out, I'm gonna fucking flip a table.
the one wire that somehow keeps the cell door for specifically Ironwood's cell in the I don't know, probably dozens or hundreds of cells that they have. You know. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Here's what I thought in that moment. I didn't believe it was a stray wire, and I don't think any of you do either. I think Watts intentionally made it look like the cell wires failed. Because he's a smart man, he would know exactly what to do to make that happen, and make it look like an accident. Because if the cell just did turn off like it usually would, Ironwood would be suspicious. But in his current mindset, if it just, like, fails and sputters out in front of him, that's just a stroke of good luck. And is he really thinking all that clearly right now to figure out that it might have been somebody who orchestrated that incident? Not necessarily.
I mean, I think given his current mind state, the door could have opened with a little message, "You're free now, James," and he probably wouldn't have thought too much about it.
Yeah.
That's also true. So
one thing at a time.
So I think we are, at least I'm of the mind of that it was Watts. It's totally got to be Watts.
Yeah, that's my hope, at least. If it really was just a coincidence, I'm gonna be really upset.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me skeptical about it being Watts, though, is think about it. Ironwood is a fucking tyrant that wants to shoot up anyone that crosses him. Watts crossed him. Watts is in the same building. Wouldn't that just be him saying, I guess I'll go fuck myself, I feel like dying today? I'm gonna release this fucking lion into the fucking cage filled with meat, and I am meat? Like...
And I am he's the prime meat. Like, he already fought Ironwood. He lost. And if he sets Ironwood free, if Ironwood knows that I don't think he knows he's in the building right now, but maybe.
I mean, true. Watts is smart enough, I guess, to know that, but it just, like, I'm curious. Yeah, I could see a situation where he did it to maybe part of some bigger plan, like using Ironwood like a rat in a cage, like to do his bidding. Like, I could see that, like, because he's pretty predictable now, because he's You know, like
Insane.
Oh, what if he just funneled him down, like played the little red light green light game where he just like funnels him down a certain hallway, just like, oh, that door's locked. Well, but this
Did
one's
you
open.
see
And
Ironwood's
like
gun?
points him at things.
I don't
Like-
think Ironwood. I think Ironwood's gun says, "Oh, door, fuck you, goodbye."
Well, because here's the thing. Speaking of the guns, right? So this also makes me think that this was planned because his guns were right outside the fucking cell.
true.
What? Who are the security people in this building?
Weapon
true.
storage lockers for
They-
people
that's
in
called
high
an armory.
like priority cells? Nah, we don't have
True.
those.
That's called an armory.
Yeah.
I
All
know
of your
you
personal
have one. You have
belongings just-
more of the weapons than anybody else.
Yeah, so like the fact that his weapons were just waiting there for him right outside the cell makes me think like this was deliberate. Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just a lot of stupidity.
Well, okay. So we know that these two don't like each other. Ironwood's off his rocker. He's blowing people away just for disagreeing with him. Who's got it out for Papa Schnee? Who would want Papa Schnee out of the way?
I
mean,
don't
maybe-
think the point was to kill Jacques. I think the point was to release Ironwood. But of course, Ironwood was like, hey, Jacques, you mildly sassed me. Fuck you.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not about Jacques. It was about we want to release this trigger happy crazy person into the world for more chaos because yay giddy chaos. And Jacques mildly sassed him. And if you do anything in Ironwood's general direction, you will get yeeted off of a cliff or shot in the head.
Your mustache displeases me.
Bang.
Yeah. Do we think? Okay, I'm pretty sure this isn't the case. I'm pretty sure Salem is KO'd for this season. Maybe not. Like maybe the denouement, like after the credits scene, will be like her coming back together or something and regrouping. But or recouping. I don't. Whatever.
No, regrouping. Regrouping is good.
Both. Do you think did she grow an IT wing in the last episode? Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
She's the one who's been sort of pushing him, like she sort of set him off on this path of like, fear-induced madness of just blowing everybody away. Maybe?
I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, so Jacques is he's just dead. He's
He's
fucking
a green ball of
gone.
fire.
Like goodbye.
Yep.
Goodbye. You
Yeah,
no longer
like
exist on this earth.
The fact that they stayed on that shot for so long was, them really wanting to tell us, hey, he's dead. He's not going to pop back up. There's not going to be like a hand that, comes out of this rubble. He dead.
Yeah, I mean he was like on fire. Just
Was-
like fucking green flames everywhere. Like he's gone.
Yeah, like, fuck. It was dark. Like,
It was very
honestly,
dark.
if they find a way to go back there and find him in the rubble, I would be genuinely like,
Mhm.
there's no way.
I don't think they're gonna find him. I don't think there's anything left
There is
to
nothing
find.
left of him.
I think
That
he was
is-
incinerated.
Yeah.
Incinerated, disintegrated, doesn't matter. He is no longer alive on this earth.
Like the most that Rooster Teeth could do is be like, well, Jacques destroyed the goddamn shield, and then the shield absorbed the blast, and then all the rubble fell on Jacques and broke all of his limbs, but he's alive. Like maybe the laser didn't get to him because of the fucking shield thing. I don't know. That's the most that they could do if they were going to. Like
They're not. Because
don't
if
think
you
they
look
are,
at that
but-
image, because I'm looking at it right now, even the ground of that floor is scorched. Like you can see the underlying rock
yeah,
or
you're right.
material beneath
Oof.
it. Like
Split
he is
asunder.
Yeah.
gone. There is
Yeah.
no
Oh.
way he is there anymore. He is
Dude,
dead.
and you know that with like the winter thing that we're about to talk about with Winter and Ironwood, Ironwood's gonna say some shit about like, why don't you ask your father when you get like, ooh.
And
Mhm.
she's not gonna care.
Oh.
No, she'll care.
I don't think she will, because what she said to Jacques on her way out the door the last time.
But what you,
There's a difference between you're locked up and I really hate you, Dad, because you're kind of a dick, and he's
Yeah.
a smoldering crater.
No. She's like,
yeah,
No,
like
no.
Slight
Winter
difference.
Winter and Weiss obviously didn't want him murdered in cold blood.
Well, what's gonna happen is Winter is gonna be like, "You killed my daddy," and Ironwood's gonna be like, "No, Winter, I am your Iron
Or
Daddy."
Dad. Oh my god. Yeah.
Not again.
Like because obviously when I think it'll be a really cool moment because when it comes to your family, especially when you have like such different belief systems and all that stuff, it can be a very difficult situation to be in because you want to be like, oh, I love my dad, but also fuck this dude because he's a capitalist tyrant. But like the fact that her and Weiss were still gonna let him live shows that there's still that human element there of father daughter. Even though it sucks, it's still there. And so I think it'll be a beautiful moment of when Ironwood's like, and I killed your dad. Did you a favor? She'll be like, you motherfucker! Like, no, like this is not okay. Even if he was a piece of shit asshole, he didn't deserve to die. But you fucking do. Like, it's
And
it's a really moral question. Like,
yeah, and Ironwood didn't have the right to make that decision.
No.
exactly. Like,
you don't exist anymore. Like,
yeah,
nah, you
you're
don't
not
get to make
allowed
that
to
call.
exist anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. So, anyways, back to RWBY versus Cinder.
Ooh.
Speaking of more things that aren't important whatsoever.
Or wait, sorry. On the fucking topic of after Ironwood gets out, does it switch back to RWBY Cinder or does it go to the winter scene?
No, it goes
Not yet.
directly to RWBY versus Cinder.
Okay, we're not there yet. Okay, sorry.
So yeah, back to RWBY versus Cinder on things that don't matter. Neo arrives.
Uh-huh.
And Neo
Cool new hat.
delivers a surprise attack. And I feel like this is what we're going to be talking about for a good bit here.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Yang sees it coming and tries to save RWBY and succeeds, but gets sent flying off the edge in the process. Blake tries to save her, but she comes up short.
It's a
and Yang falls into the ether.
The
Supposedly
thing
never
the
to
Jinn
be-
said not to do.
Mhm.
The genie said not to do.
Mhm.
Don't fall.
Supposedly never to be seen again.
I have
Supposedly. She's not dead.
There is no fucking way she's dead.
First of all, there's no way she's dead. I have a problem with how she even fell.
I mean, yeah.
How often have we seen her recover from such a blow and use her shotgun arms to propel herself through the air? Are you telling me you are so shocked that you're just going to watch the world fly by? This is where
I
your
don't think it was a
instincts
matter
came in.
of
shocked.
I mean, hang on. Let's be clear here for a second, Ian. This hit was so powerful, it took out her aura in one shot.
Yeah, this is Neo's like patented F your aura attack. I don't like her sword just destroys auras. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's the sneak attack thing again, but I think Yang was basically unconscious when she was falling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
well,
the impression that I got. Because as she was falling, she looked like real dazed and out of it. Like she didn't even really know what was happening.
Concussion at least, but
yeah.
Even with that, still, I felt, I'm going to be quite honest. When she fell, I felt absolutely nothing. It was just, oh, she'll be back. We'll see you in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Like the most that I felt was like seeing, because I put myself into Blake's shoes of like, wow, this is an emotional moment for Blake because Blake thinks she's dead. But as an audience member, because like it's sort of like when I saw, what was it, Avengers Endgame with the fucking snap where like a bunch of people disappear. Was it Endgame?
Spoilers. Yeah, that was the first.
I mean, everybody's memed the shit out of that. So
it's been out for a long ass time.
Yeah.
So
it's fair.
And like the fact that like within 24 hours people are already spoiling RWBY everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
But like, like when I saw that in theaters, there were some people that were crying. Maybe it's because I don't have an emotional attachment to it, but also I was like, dude, there's like a bajillion more movies. They're not dead. Like
Yeah.
Well, that was it, guys. We're gonna end the franchise here. We're not gonna make any more money. We killed
Oh, it's
off all
Infinity
these
War.
characters.
It's Infinity War. Yeah. But
Infinity War soon to be
yeah,
followed by
it gave me the
Endgame.
same exact feeling because there wasn't, there wasn't like a build up to it that would actually, document or that would
Yeah.
actually showcase like a main character death. So, it's a little meta, but it's also one other thing that's like it's kind of meta, but it's also like, hey, we're RWBY Talk. We're RWBY fans. We like to keep up with all that's happening in the RWBY communities. I watched Barbara Dunkelman's Instagram story recently, and somebody asked her, what's been one of your favorite things to record as Yang? And Barbara said, my favorite thing you haven't even seen yet. So
Huh.
Let's hope it's the
Huh.
reunion that happens in the next episode, not what happened this episode.
Hey.
That's my personal hope. No offense, Barbara, if you're actually watching this or ever do.
I mean, I'm very much implying that I think that what's gonna happen is her favorite thing is when she sees Blake again, and maybe there's a little smooch.
Yeah, that's probably my guess.
That's what I want. Anyway, that's my theory. This is just a theory, a game theory.
Hey, Ian.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
Could you do me a favor and could you change the thing to this? Just just cuz.
Wait, what?
Don't worry about it.
What? I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm terrified. What's happening?
Don't worry about it.
Well, alrighty then. Well, yeah. So anyway, Yang gets yeeted off the cliff, and I saw like a really wholesome piece of art that really just made me like if there was anything that I was going to feel for in this moment, it's for Blake. And someone was comparing all the times that Blake threw her little stringy boy at Yang, and Yang would catch it, and they'd work together. This was the one time Yang didn't catch it.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I rewatched like the moment she disappears because the first time I saw it, it was like, oh, did they Pyrrha her? Did they turn her into dust? And it doesn't look like that.
No.
It looks more like she falls through the floor of this weird sphere thingy that they're at. Like, there's kind of some illusion-y looking things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think it's insta-death. It's
Illusion-y happening.
Yeah, so
who do we know that does lots of illusions?
There it is. That's much better.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing.
What'd you change?
Don't look at the screen.
Oh my god, you bacchus! How dare you! Oh my god!
What? I don't see the problem at all, Katie. She fell. Look, she's as
Brian,
good as
I have a
dead,
very
fam. Just get over it.
question for you. Brian,
Love
who is
unrequited.
Yang?
Oh god damn it, no!
A ReZero reference. Who is Yang?
No. What have you done?
I love the show RWBY.
No, it's still RWBY. It's just three letters. You pronounce B like it's the actual letter.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill everyone.
Oh god,
this is terrible.
I don't know who made this. I think it was it was posted by Astral in our spoiler chat.
Spoiler chat on Discord.
So yeah, so.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so whoever made it, shout out to you.
Thank you for that.
It's terrible, but it's great.
Oh, I love it so much.
Somebody's saying that we should change the title of this episode to RWBY Talk.
Oh my god.
Yep, next episode is just gonna be.
Don't change that. Keep it. Oh my god.
But yeah, so I guess my thoughts on this are, yeah, there's no way that Yang is dead. She was with all of the major character deaths that we've had previously, there's always been a considerable amount of buildup.
Yeah.
It. You know, you can feel the tension. We were speculating from very early on in Volume 3 that Pyrrha was going to die. Right?
You were famously dreading the moment she and Jean had their thing, because you were like, no, that's not good. That's bad.
Yeah, that was the
terrifying.
Yes, I specifically recall saying Pyrrha is safe until she kisses Jean, then all bets are off.
Kiss of death.
and
That's what happened.
And I remembered watching that episode where she kisses Jean and being like, "Oh God, no! Oh no!" Like I was really scared for her, and then I was watching other people's reactions, like with Pyrrha kissing Jean, and they were like, "Oh, it's finally happening!" And I'm like, "You guys don't know. You guys don't know what this means.
Oh God!
She's a dead woman.
He kissed a corpse.
She's killed."
I mean, even with the other big character death this season or this episode, right? With Jacques, he gets nuked by Ironwood. It is kind of out of nowhere. There's a little bit of buildup. It's not like that foreshadowed. We're like, oh, he's going for the gun. Why is he? That's bad. This is bad. He's gonna. And then there's like this finality to it where they just kind of sit. You were talking about it, right? Somebody mentioned it. I forget who. They're like, it lingers on the frame a bit to sort of. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't get that with this scene at all.
No, and the thing is like, if they were really, the other thing is, this happens like halfway through the episode. If they were really going to do this, I feel like it would be a cliffhanger at the end of the episode.
Oh, they would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I also, like, just in turn, I'm not, like, I don't do writing professionally, but I'm pretty sure if you have a cast of 4 main characters, yeah, RWBY's got a big cast, but, like, you know, our 4 gals are the main characters. You don't kill off your main character, one of your main characters, with a surprise attack midway through the penultimate episode, and she just kind of gets yeeted off the edge and goes away. For like, that's not very good payoff and build up to, I don't know, a character that's been with us for almost 8 seasons now, right?
Yeah.
The question,
like, that's just bad writing if you do that.
The question, I think we all know that she's coming back, but the question is, if she is coming back, why did they do this in the first place? What
I mean, and that's the thing.
Going to come out of this,
right? And so, and that remains to be seen, and that's why I'm not necessarily judging it too harshly yet, because, you know, we've talked about a lot on this podcast how Pyrrha's death really had a deep amount of significance for the series as a whole and for the characters, and it's for that reason that I think that Pyrrha's death was one of the best written things of the entire show. But you know, with this, we're probably not going to see the full repercussions of this until the next episode, maybe even through to the next season. You know, it's if I had to take a guess, as to what this is, and if it is this, I'm going to be slightly disappointed because I feel like it's somewhat easy and cheap. So I hope this isn't what it is. I feel like it's entirely possible that they needed something dramatic to make Blake realize just how much she cares about Yang, so that Bumblebee can officially happen.
I hope not, because it didn't need this. If this is going to be the final straw, the last inciting incident, or whatever, it didn't.
I don't know, man.
In my
controversial opinion, and you know what? Fuck it. People can say I'm wrong. I don't care. I'm my own person. I can have my own thoughts. I liked it for Blake. I don't think Yang is dead, but not everything in my fucking media has to be the fucking like, oh my god, this was the most different and crazy outlandish thing I've ever seen, and please let me finish. And I think Yang falling, do I think she's dead? No. Do I like what it maybe did for Blake? Yes, and I think that's fucking great. And I think if that's the final straw, honestly, I think it's fine. I don't think it's worth I don't think that it would be something that would devalidate Bumblebee for me. I think it was a
Oh no,
perfectly
it
fine
wouldn't.
writing choice.
It wouldn't well, I definitely don't think it's a fine writing choice to go that direction. But
Then we'll
it
differ because I thought
but
it was fine. I'm
the
not crazily
the
mad at it. Like
the thing is we don't know that that's what they're doing yet, right? In terms of what we saw in this episode, Blake being upset and being like, that was all fine. I don't have any issues with that. The issue that I would have would come in if the only reason for Yang to fall off the edge of the world was to get Blake to realize her feelings. That's the only issue that I have, is if they decide to go that direction and there's no other reason behind doing this. Because going and doing this big dramatic thing, it's for something that small, it's over dramatic. It's that I would consider that to be not super great writing.
I mean, are you forgetting? I don't mean to bring up Volume 5 again, but do you remember the scene with Weiss?
I remember the scene with Weiss. I hated that scene.
Very indicative of the Pyrrha thing, but then she immediately was, and all they used that for was to A, build up tension, which this does, and B, kind of reveal Jean's semblance.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the purpose of that.
Yeah, and we've talked at length before about how upset I know that I specifically was, and I think a lot of us were, at the use of the Pyrrha imagery for something that honestly wasn't that important. And we knew, I mean, all of us knew for a fact, like, the thing that made Pyrrha's death hit so hard was the fact that we all knew that they might actually kill her off, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
But we all knew right away, Weiss isn't fucking dead. She's gonna be fine. And it cheapened that imagery. It cheapened the power that had of associating that imagery with very real chances of character death.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like this scene with Yang kind of does a little bit of the same thing with, we saw earlier Cinder blows a bunch of civilians off the into the void, and then we're like, well, if Yang is still alive, because I mean it's Yang, right? They can't kill her this way, right? Then all those civilians are fine too. So great.
Yeah.
So
less tension.
So we shall see. It definitely felt like it came out of left field. So I definitely don't think that Yang is dead. I did think that this scene overall was better than the Weiss scene.
Yeah.
By a wide margin.
Well, I think Blake's reaction to it was probably my favorite.
Yeah, Blake's reaction to it, I think, was the thing that really sold it for me, which was, I like what it's doing for Blake. I just don't want that to be the only reason. That's the biggest thing for me. I also saw a bunch of people commenting on, like, boy, it sure looked like Blake was the only one that cared. And I was like, okay, now hold on.
Yeah, I don't think that's...
Now, I don't think
correct.
that's true. I think RWBY was just as stunned as Blake, but then Neo attacked her.
Yeah.
Like, so it's... and everybody else was busy in battle. Like, Weiss was trying to make sure that Blake didn't accidentally fall off the edge herself. Like,
it's
like,
called adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline's a hell of a drug, guys.
It shuts down higher brain functions when you're in danger.
It honestly makes the scene so much more tense because there is so much happening. But I think they're handling all that's happening pretty well in terms of, like, as an audience member watching it, like, being genuinely like, oh my god, I don't know where I should pay attention to, but each piece of thing that's happening is happening very good in real time. Like, these battles are happening, the civilians are trying to get the fuck out, the tension on our main players is really high because you can tell what the stakes are for them, and so it feels really like anything could happen. Like, they've done a good job at building up the tension in this fucking room. Like,
well, that massive foreshadowing at the beginning, don't fall,
don't
certainly
fall,
helps.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that it does, like, the one thing that Yang falling does do that makes me a little sad is that it does make me less afraid of people going into that hole, and it makes me more curious of how they're going to kill Cinder. Because
Yeah.
I think Cinder will die, but it's not going to be from falling, because they're going to get Yang back somehow, and anybody that falls down there is going to be near Yang with the plot armor, so they can potentially be fine too. So like the stakes are a little lower, but it's still going to be a bitch to get them back. Just
Yeah,
like
I think there is a very real possibility that we will not get Yang back in the next episode. I think
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
Probably.
I think that that might be a task for next volume.
Season. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't think that instead of the end credits scene being Cinder regrouping, you don't think it's just going to be Yang lost in some weird surreal void place being like, hello? Hello?
I think it'll be both. I think we'll get both of those at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, the void is where Salem is.
Oh fuck.
Oh, okay. Now we're going like this is like the upside down. I'm thinking now,
Yeah.
like, oh god.
Watch the black pool is made from the shadow essence of this in between world that constituted into an actual place in our reality. Yang's gonna come out in the black pool and be like, "Oh fuck."
Now,
Great.
one thing that I will absolutely compliment this scene on with Yang falling off the edge. I want to compliment the hell out of the audio team.
Oh yeah.
For how they handled that moment and that build of tension and that just the whoosh as Blake's strap misses Yang and that whoosh cuts into silence. It's fantastic. Really, really great work.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, I guess moving right along. So, RWBY goes back to fighting Neo. Blake is like, Neo, I'ma cut you, bitch! And fucking starts going...
She's seeing red.
Yeah, she's going after Neo, too. Penny returns to the fight, and then it becomes Penny and Weiss versus Penny and Weiss versus Cinder, and RWBY and Blake versus Neo.
So in other words, I get to fight myself.
Yes. Exactly.
All of my characters.
Yeah, all of your characters are fighting.
Guys, can we just get along? This is what it feels like in my head every day.
We do get some interesting Penny-based confirmations here. First of all, she is still able to fly and still able to use multiple blades psychokinetically at the same time.
I thought that not having her swords anymore was going to be a problem. Nope.
Nope.
I mean, yeah, with her specific wind powers, her flying isn't a stretch. I mean,
I see. The thing is I don't even know if what she's using is the maiden powers. I don't know if like Ambrosius just built her a new body that's human that somehow does all of the same things that her robot body did.
I guess so.
I mean, she had to get a semblance, right?
Yeah.
No, I think they've alluded to it because whenever she would activate maiden powers, there would be the green like flame that would appear. Like that was very different from just her regular robot stuff. It was a very particular green flame when she would be activated.
But her robot flames when she was flying around were also green.
But they looked a little different. They didn't have that kind of like whooshy flamey look. They had that straight robot like they had a different
jet
design.
Engine whoosh.
Yeah, they had a different design.
Not flame whoosh.
Yeah.
I should also point out that, I mean, like, aesthetically, I know what they're going for. Mechanically, that's not how thrust works. Like, there's a reason why jet engines look the way they do.
Actually, here's an interesting point of comparison. We have the Fall Maiden, who, whenever she uses her powers, the sides of her eyes, like, light up on fire. Penny's goes green. You would think it'd be white, because it is winter, but I guess green is also kind of a Christmas-y kind of color. So that potentially could have been that.
I think
her
it's
robot green
because
color
Honey is
like
green.
overrode that.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like some aesthetic stuff. It's kind of like how in D&D you have like flavor text for your moves, and maybe you want to say like, "Hey, my Fall Maiden flames are green."
I guess
It is my favorite color.
It's my favorite color, and I just want it here because aesthetic. It does not change my powers. It's just cool looking.
It's just when that aesthetic confuses the rest of the audience.
My
as to
Winter
what is
Maiden
in
powers
process.
are purple. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly, and you know that's I'm okay with this. Like,
it's just
Penny's
kind of
powerful
Spring
enough,
Maiden
she
is
gets
like,
to do
yeah, well,
that.
fuck you. I'm getting black flames.
I mean, it's all well and good, but
and
at
Nora's
least for
will
a
be
visual
pink.
medium, it's kind of
Nora's will be
confusing
pink.
when somebody doesn't follow
Emeralds
the
will be like a
accepted
mint
logic.
color.
So, after all of that, we come back to Harriet and Vine in the ship. And Vine stops Harriet from arming the bomb because he no longer believes that this is the correct course of action. And Harriet's like, yeah, and Harriet's like, fuck you, it's about loyalty, bitch!
Oh, she's so heckin' crazy.
No, she's rationalizing right now. She'll say anything to make her sound right.
It's like, it's about loyalty. If
so
Clover were here, he'd agree with me.
If the dead person was here that can't speak for himself, he would totally agree with everything I said because I can say that, and he can't deny it.
He can't deny it. Yeah.
What's he gonna do? Come back to life? Hell no.
Woof.
So, to which the response is, well, then perhaps Clover was wrong too. And Harriet breaks down, and Vine almost gets through to her. He's like, hey, look, we're all, Clover's death, it kind of affected us all. And then, leave it to Robyn to fuck shit up.
Favorite character.
I hate Rob. I know what she's fighting for is good, but goddamn is she insufferable.
I like Robyn. I don't care. I like her.
She just has the worst timing.
She has the worst timing. She will not listen to, like, her heart's in the right place, but she has a really hard time listening to people.
I think she's a great character. Like, I think she's a consistent character. Do I think I'd like her as a person?
I never said I hated her character. I said I hated her.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I agree with you in the sense of, like, do I think I'd want to vibe with her? Maybe not, but like in terms of in the show RWBY, I fucking love Robyn. I love what she's doing. Like, I love her commitment to being this kind of character. I mean, this is coming from someone who loves tsunderes, so like,
I love tsunderes too, but I don't know, man. Something.
I think Robyn is a really well-written character, and I really like that she's committed to being this person. And I think that it's, we need someone like her, and I really like that she's filling that role, and I think she's filling it well.
Yes, but that doesn't change the fact that she has the world's shittiest timing.
That's true. Well, that is these can coexist. These thoughts can coexist. We can love her and hate
exclusive.
Yes,
they are not.
Indeed.
Just wanted to say that she's got fucking worse timing than I do.
It's true.
She couldn't have known though. Like if she saw, you saw it.
She would not have known.
She's a good character, and she is doing exactly what she needs to do within the series. It does not change the fact that every time she's on screen, I'm annoyed.
But she couldn't have known. The two Aesops get onto the thing with the bomb. As far as she knows, they're still working together. So she's gonna go stop the bomb going off, right?
Which is exactly what she should be doing. Which
she kind of does a little bit. She knocks one of them out the door. I mean, I guess Harriet kind of helps with that. But
Yup.
Yeah.
Harriet kicks Vine out. Which, like, can we talk about the fact that she basically tried to kill him?
Oh yeah, she turns on him real fast.
Bro, yeah, she was like, it's murder o'clock for Harriet.
Yeah.
She's on the same fucking drug that Ironwood is. Like, they are just murder buddies. Like, they're gonna be at the next murder club meeting. Like, so excited to share.
The next murder hobo club. There.
Exactly. Not even murder hobo. They're murder diplomats. Like, they're experts.
How do you have a murder? Hang on a second. How do you have a murder diplomat?
Well,
This
you
is
know,
my
we have
diplomacy gun.
Forrest,
I mean, that's
Forrest.
literally
That's
what
what Ironwood
is
has.
called.
Ironwood definitely has a diplomacy gun.
Wait,
Hey,
what are
guys.
they? What's his gun called?
Hey guys, have you ever heard of diplomatic immunity?
Oh, isn't Ironwood's gun called like Law and Order or something?
Something
silly?
like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a fucking murder diplomat.
I think it's called due process.
Oh,
He's
that's
gonna
due
recall-
process. Yep.
He's gonna fucking bring Harriet into his club of murder, and they're just gonna go murder people frolicking through flowers. Like,
Ironwood's just like, I am judge, jury, and diplomat. And by diplomat, I mean executioner.
Yeah.
Ugh. Jesus Christ. Ironwood's such a problem.
Harriet's such a problem too. She's on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have a nuke gun yet. She just has a nuke.
She just has a nuke. So
I really hope that the stuff in the bomb is not the same stuff that's in Ironwood's fancy new gun.
That would be
That
very
just
seems
consistent,
bad.
though.
It would be very consistent, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
Yes, it would.
So, Harriet kicks Vine out, and then Crow just breaks through the windshield.
It's just a
Harriet.
bird, and
Right.
you're like, oh, it's Crow.
Mhm.
He turned into a bird, Ruby.
He did.
A bird.
It was. I want a RWBY chibi where it's just the bird hits the windscreen meme, and
Ironwood's just like,
whoops.
Ironwood's just like, bird goes yeet straight through the fucking windshield. So he comes in, he fights with Harriet, and then while they're fighting, Watts takes control of the ship. And this is kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier, in that I feel like Watts has the ability to do a lot more good for Cinder and Neo right where he is, because the man now has a fucking nuke.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he does. Well, so like
But
Harriet puts it on
where would
autopilot.
he take the nuke? He can't take it into the magic shield thing.
He
'cause
can't
the
take it
ship
into the
will-
magic shield, but all he needs to do is threaten all the people who aren't through the portals yet.
Or try and, or, I mean, he could.
Also,
definitely
we don't
try.
know. Also, in fairness, we don't know if these portals are nuke proof.
No, I mean, I just don't think the ship will fit through the door.
I'm
Oh
not
yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think he needs to fit the ship through the door.
No, I think he
like-
needs to fly what can fit through the door and then detonate.
I don't think he needs
I
to
don't know
go
if
through
that's
the
where they're
door at
going, though.
all.
I mean,
He
he
just
just do
needs-
that too.
He just
We-
needs to
like-
threaten the people who haven't gone through the portals yet.
He does
and
have
get
a
that
nuke.
information
I guess he could
back
threaten to
to-
nuke Vacuole.
Well, I mean, it's not. I don't think he needs to do that. I think all he needs to do is threaten the people who still haven't gone through the portals in Mantle yet.
Yeah, I think he's headed for Mantle. I think that's where
Yeah.
that's where he's
fair.
going. And we've
That's fair.
seen when Cinder throws some like glass spikes at Weiss or somebody when she's fighting.
Yeah, that
we
explode,
see
yeah.
them go through the portals, right? And
That's
like
true.
Jean has to put up his shields to save some people from spiky glass. So if
Yeah.
he set off that bomb in the city, then it would just probably go through the portals and into the little pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
very likely.
True.
So
So
that's bad.
It's very bad.
It's real bad. Are we gonna get a more Crow Harriet fight? I kind of feel like I want a fight where they're like, well, I liked Clover more. No, I like Clover more.
Oh my god.
I don't think so, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. So after that little bit, we come to Winter
The
walking
Vault.
inside the vault.
Hmm.
And Winter comes face to face with Ironwood. And we get perhaps one of my favorite lines in the entire series thus far, where Ironwood tells Winter, "Consider this my last order. Step aside." And Winter responds, "I've never wavered in fighting the enemies of this kingdom, and I won't start now."
Oh, and the tear that rolls down
Mhm.
Ironwood's face is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is I didn't realize I wanted an Ironwood Winter fight. This is something I need.
Yeah. It's gonna be fucking great, and the emotional
Yup.
drama and stakes, like, oh my god, I love that they did so much to set up some good ass fights this episode. Next episode is gonna be that shonen catharsis.
Indeed.
Uh,
It's gonna be a whole time. But yeah, so Ironwood versus Winter begins.
Meanwhile,
Back in Vacuo, Ram
Oof.
can't keep everyone hidden, and his aura gives out.
yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, where's Penny?" And Oscar's like, "I'll go get her." Wait, no, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
Because turns out they can't go back because the portals are only one way.
Because Weiss offhandedly mentioned, "Oh yeah, it's a one-way trip," you know.
Mm-hmm. God damn it, Weiss.
Okay,
So
okay.
here's the thing,
Now that
though.
we're here. Oh, okay. You go ahead.
First thing, I had a couple people I talked to had questions. Like, first of all, the portals that bring you to the Nexus, which is what I'm going to call the out of time spacey area,
Mhm.
you can go in and out of those portals just
That was
fine.
literally what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Katie, but the main portal that gets you to Vacuo, that's a one-way trip. Thankfully, it's just that one. It could have been worse.
I was gonna say, if it's a one-way trip, then why do those other portals let you go in and out? But you know,
It seems that the monkey's paw kind of effect only seems to have worked with the one-way ticket to Vacuo line that Weiss said.
yeah,
Thankfully.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the tricky part, right? You make people think, "Oh, I can go back and forth in and out of the entrances. That should be the same for the exit, right?" Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, sure isn't. So yeah, it could be part of the tricky stuff. Also, he's a genie. He knows things. He might know that, there's a nuke in play. And he's like, oh, if I let shit go in between these portals, then I can let the nuke in.
We'll mess up the time-space continuum. No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, that's a whole thing. And then some Grimm starts showing up and just carry people off.
And they're
We
not
get
even
new Bat
flying
Grimm.
monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
They could have at least been flying monkeys.
And that is the end of the episode.
Uh-huh.
Is it? I was a little okay, the Bat Grimm, pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
I was a little disappointed. There was this kind of a roar out of this dark, brooding, sandstormy thing. I was kind of hoping for some giant, sandwormy thing with way too many arms or something.
You mean Dune?
But,
I mean, I agree. That's what I was thinking too. It's like, oh, we're going to get a giant sandworm, and that's going to be kind of like the Dragon of Vacuo. It's going to be like an earthworm, worm with a Y.
Bats are cool too.
Bats are cool, but they're not flying
We could
monkeys.
still get giant sandworm. It's still possible, but less likely, I think.
I think we might get one next season.
I mean, yeah.
Also,
it's fair.
Wait a minute. Here's something we haven't seen this season. We haven't seen the draconic Grimm of this continent, if there even is such a thing.
True. I mean, unless it was Killy Willy and he was just sleeping in an iceberg somewhere. And
I don't know. She flew him from her base to Atlas, so I wouldn't say so. Or at least it's implied that she did, because does Salem sound like the person who's going to kind of walk? I doubt
it. Does she walk?
So, we haven't... We're probably not going to see it, which is kind of a damn shame, but that's just something I noticed.
Well, we might see it at some point, series finale, we're going to the dragon continent, right? Like the one that's really, really shaped like a dragon, because that's where Salem's home base is, and she's going to turn into a dragon, and it's all going to be really cool. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Indeed. So, predictions for next episode, because the next episode is the finale of Volume 8.
How did we get here so fast?
The passage of time?
I blinked and 3 months went by.
Tell me about it.
I think, I've been in the camp that I think Cinder's gonna die this season, and I'm still in that camp. Like, because I especially think that now that Cinder finally has learned some semblance of, maybe I can start trusting again in terms of like, working with other baddies. But like with all the stuff that she's done, obviously irredeemable, and the way that they started her off this episode with a big like kablow, I don't care if civilians die, it doesn't help her case. They're not gonna redeem her. I think they're definitely gonna lean into she's gotta fucking go, and it's gonna be a despair story because it's too little too late. Like right as she's humbled, it's a little, I do still think she's gonna die. I don't know how though, like because at first I thought it was gonna be her falling off the thing, but now that Yang's down there, I'm like, I don't think that's gonna be it. I think it's gonna be some symbolic battle. Maybe Ruby kills her with her eyes and some other stuff. Maybe Cinder turns full grim and we get payoff on that arm thing that's been growing, and then Ruby gray eyes her.
Maybe maybe it's a tag team effort. Maybe Emerald's involved.
I was about to say I think Emerald is going to be the one that does Cinder in.
That's true. That's also a good theory.
But that means Cinder's going to have to go through the portal into Vacuo because Emerald's now on the other side and they can't go back through.
Yeah.
True.
Which, I mean, that's, certainly possible.
Yeah, I think it's hard to predict. I mean, I think next episode's going to be a long one. There's going to be a ton of fights.
Yep.
I don't know how they're going to juggle it, man. There's so many fights going on right now.
I don't see Ironwood making it out of this alive.
No, I think Ironwood's a goner. I
think he's going to go down with the ship.
Yeah.
As it were.
Yeah, that's
I mean, they are at the bottom of the Atlas flying city, so the first place that's gonna get crushed in the impact will be that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, minus the giant hole that Oscar bore through it.
Thankfully, though, Ironwood lacks the ability to fly, being a human brick.
Well, at this point, maybe he's got some robot jets on there he installed.
He went to go see Pietro and said, "I want rocket shoes." And he said, "What do you mean?" "I mean, I want you to cut off my feet and attach rocket boots."
Yeah, sounds
Make
plausible.
me your new penny.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's already given up his arm and most of his chest, I believe, at this point.
So, does anybody have any other predictions?
Ironwood will die. Cinder likely to die. Neo, please just fucking die.
Nope.
No,
there's no way.
I don't think Neo's gonna die. No. I think Neo's gonna fuck off and be around for a few more seasons, maybe.
Yeah, she probably will, but I wanted to make that wish anyway. Yang, I swear to God, if you actually die, I will be pissed, because it will be...
Yeah, if they actually send Yang out this way. If this is actually the way they send Yang out, that's like...
That'd be hilarious.
That'll be a show's over, folks!
Yeah, because we've talked about... We've speculated about major character deaths before, and the one thing that we've always kind of agreed on is that the only person that we really think is genuinely in danger is RWBY in the very last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else in particular? Anybody who's passed through the gate who's actually a significant character, likely to live?
Well, I don't know about Team Juniper. I'm pretty sure that by the end of this series, Team Juniper will all be dead.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm talking about, like, members of Team RWBY.
Yeah, in terms of Team RWBY, yeah, I think RWBY has yeah. She's got the most death flags, but really only at the final episode, so...
Yeah.
Maybe they'll add Nora to the death list by knocking her off her flying mortar.
I think
Oh,
it's
right
so
as
interesting that like
Hmm.
everybody was throwing death flags out for both Ren and Nora this season, and
Yeah,
that's
we were.
doesn't seem to really be what's happening.
I mean, it
Wouldn't
could
it?
be at this point that they've had their conflict resolution, that they're just in the right spot for one of them to die.
That's
Mhm.
true. They did do that thing where they're like, yes,
But
Renora, that's gonna be a thing. We just have to. Nora's just gotta figure some stuff out, and then we're gonna get. He's like,
and she never gets the chance, because what is she doing right now? Riding her weapon like it's a flying broomstick in the middle of a place where if you fall, presumably you die. We don't believe you really do, but she could also take a bad hit and also just die.
Yes, she went to Hogwarts School of Huntsman and Huntressry.
yeah. I kind of wish they went the full way with that and just like extended the handle of the hammer so it really just was a broomstick. Like,
For a moment there, I thought you were going to talk about like going several more seasons at Beacon before it fell, and I was about to agree with you, and then you went with the broomstick, and I said, "Oh, that also makes sense."
yeah, no, I'm just talking about broomsticks. Come on.
Fair enough. But yeah, I don't anticipate any more unexpected deaths. Watts, I
Crow.
think he may die, but I find it unlikely.
I think Watts
I
might
don't
go
know
down
about
with the
that.
ship actually in the same way that Ironwood does. When Cinder had her thing of like, you deserve this.
He also said
That
this
sounded
is everything I've ever wanted, kind of implying that his life is complete now.
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But also, Watts is smarter than most other people. I don't believe he'd be screwing around with the electronics right now without having planned an escape route.
I don't know.
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we'll
we'll see.
see.
If he dies, he dies, and he's fulfilled his life purpose of giving that singular fucking speech
He
from last
did. He
episode.
did a good job.
He did.
After he said that, like, dude, man, that is the best thing that Watts has ever said. I don't think we're gonna get a better line.
Uh,
Um,
if he dies, I'll just be sad that we won't get to hear more of Chris Sabat.
yeah, me too. Chris Sabat, you deserve more work.
Uh,
Oh god.
oh,
Uh,
Yeah,
all
they're gonna
right.
send Watts out on a cool ass note though if they do.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think we podcasted, guys.
I think so.
think we
Aw, I'm
did
gonna
it.
miss everybody.
You're
We're
gonna
gonna
leave
miss
us
you.
now.
Since I'm gonna die.
What? No, what?
What? God, that was dark, Katie. Come on.
I mean, if I'm not on the internet, if I'm not on this podcast, I'm basically dead, right?
Yeah.
You are also a VA. Your consciousness will
What?
exist in some capacity.
That's true.
Indeed. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to find us, my name is Brian. I'm in the RWBY Productions Discord server. You can also find me on Twitter at Hubbard Audio. Ian, where can they find you?
Well, also in the Crew Productions public Discord server, I am Ventress. I am an admin. If you are having any issues, please let me know, and I'll help you take care of them.
Forrest, where can they find you?
They can find me right here next week on this podcast talking about the final episode of RWBY.
Hell yeah. Hey, Katie, since you're not going to be back next week, where can they find you?
Hello, everybody. You can find me on Twitter at Kaniday Official, Kaniday Official. And you can find me doing all sorts of EA things that I'll share around there. And I also, I've worked on the Dr. Crafty show on the YouTubes. I've done stuff here. And yeah, go follow me. I tweet all the time. I never stop. I don't have a life. Yay! Hire me to voice silly, dumb stuff. And bye. Thank you so much. Waste is best, girl. Don't forget it.
Agreed.
Hell yeah. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next week for the final episode of the season. Boy!